In our first episode, we spoke about Dajjal's forehead. In the second, we explored his eye. But the question remains, what about the rest of the physical description of the Antichrist, the Dajjal? Today, we are going to put the pieces together. Let's walk through every sign, from head to toe. To understand the prophecy, we have to consider the person who foretold the prophecy and his cultural background. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a Middle Eastern Arab, and some of his Dajjal descriptions came from dreams and visions he had conveyed based on what he saw, using the language of his time and his personal perspective. For example, Dajjal is said to be a tall and heavily built person. This should be understood from the Prophet's point of view, who was known to have an average Middle Eastern male height, which is around 170 to 176 centimeters. Trump is 190 centimeters. That's towering over the average American male of 175 centimeters. So to a man in the Middle East, that seems very tall. Add the bulky build that Trump is known for, and you get such an imposing presence, just as foretold. The Dajjal is not one-eyed. We have investigated this topic deeply in the last video, where we have two prophets mentioning that Dajjal's right eye will be defective. Also, our detailed report have confirmed that Trump's right eye often looks weaker, less active, and asymmetrical comparing to his left. Check the full video if you haven't already. Now let's talk about something we only hinted at before without linking it to an Islamic prophecy. Hadith described the Dajjal as being red-skinned or reddish in tone. The word used to describe that was Ahmar, a word used to describe the Caucasian race or white people because their skin used to turn red when they visited the sunny lands of Arabia. Besides being a white person with roots originating from Germany, Trump has a skin condition called rosacea that makes his skin become very red and very thick in some areas, and that takes us to the next point, the forehead. We already spoke about Trump's forehead. In some images, the skin bumps and red wrinkles caused by the chronic flushing of rosacea seem to form the Arabic letters of the word kafir, which he tries to cover with makeup almost all the time, or wearing his MAGA hat when not using the makeup. In the Islamic prophecy, it was said that not everyone will be able to see or recognize this mark between his eyes. Only few people will read it, even if they actually cannot understand the Arabic language. What is shocking about this, it has already been reported by different people that they could see the wrinkles forming the word kafir between his eyes, even by some individuals who can't read the Arabic language. Also, there is a symbolic prophecy in the Bible that confirms the same concept of what is written on his forehead. You can see it in our first episode for more details about the Christian prophecies. Many people talk about how Trump's hair doesn't really match the description of Dajjal, but there's something to that. Let's start with the Dajjal description in the Islamic prophecy. The hair of Dajjal was described with three different manners: جعد قطط, very curly; جفال الشعر, thick woolly hair; حبك حبك, wavy waves. The word حبك means the linear ripples on the sand and water caused by wind. Well, you can see the waves for yourself, but keep in mind that Trump's hairstyle and look is completely artificial. Trump should have been bald by now, if not for cosmetic and plastic surgeries he has done in the past. There is even a YouTube video from an expert detailing how Donald went for scalp reduction and many hair cosmetic surgeries before it was an accessible option for everyone. Only the elites could do this. So, we have the results of a man with a hair like waves, thick and woolly. How about being very curly? The answer is actually in the previous point, being a Caucasian white person. That means having curly hair is actually what we call nowadays wavy because a white person cannot have the same type of curls that an Arab or an African may have. The same applies on the other races. The prophecy is trying to describe a hair which is hard to describe in one word. On the other side, Trump is famous for his weird hairstyle that is very remarkable and everyone finds it hard to describe. The next point in the physical description is the Islamic narration that says Al-Dajjal Aridun Nahr, which means the Antichrist will have a wide neck. Look at Trump when he's not wearing a suit, for example while playing golf. A thick neck that you can't easily miss. And while wearing a suit, the necktie is very tight, which makes the funny look of his flapping chin fat, as if only this tightness is holding his neck together from showing how wide or arid al-nahr he really is. Some people think that Trump's hand issue is not another sign of the Antichrist, while it really is. The father of Yahya, Prophet Zechariah alayhi salam, had a prophecy which is still available in the Torah. He said the worthless shepherd will have a dry arm, which until now they cover it up by saying this problem is due to shaking too many hands and side effects of taking aspirin. Finally, his walk. Prophecy says that Dajjal is afhaj, that is translated as walking with his legs apart or suffering from a problem in his legs like being pigeon-toed. And when we do the usual and take a look at the president's leg, he spreads his legs unnaturally wide in his walk. Even though it has been announced only in 2025 that Donald Trump is suffering from a chronic venous disease in his legs, causing swelling and weakness. Some videos and images prior to that diagnosis indicate that something was going on. But now the media has been instructed to avoid taking pictures of his lower part to avoid controversy, especially after the latest pictures taken with Putin has gone viral. So far, these are the 7 signs describing Dajjal's physical appearance. However, there is one more sign which is subtle and can be seen with the human eye. Dajjal will be infertile. We do know that Donald Trump has 5 children. The youngest is Baron Trump, which his mother Melania doesn't shy away from showing how unaffectionate she is towards poor Donald, slapping his hand away in many occasions, and also the air kisses she became famous for, as she can't stand touching him. I wonder how they had a kid together. In an interview, Trump one day said he is the father of IVF. Maybe the answer lies in the firstborn child, Donald Jr., who was born on the 31st of December 1977. Ironically, the first documented human birth through this technology was in 1978. Maybe Donald Trump was patient zero. That wouldn't make him just a father through IVF, but more like the father of IVF. When we go back in time and see someone who's infertile, it would have been impossible to bear children without a miracle. Now we are doing the miracles by artificial means. Just like eyesight. If someone is born with anything other than 6x6, then he's deemed with a permanent condition that will not allow him to see or read properly. Now humans can fix it with cheap eyeglasses or even a 30-minute procedure. Anyone in the older times would see this as a miracle by God or a magic by demons. We know Dajjal will perform miracles, but will they be artificially engineered by human technology or emerge through the dark power of the demonic forces? Or will God give him powers and blessings more than all the prophets combined? Let's dive into this question in the next episode, because the answer may change everything we thought we knew about the end times.